know, love, and pretty much live by to be able to attend school, the Hope Scholarship. Hope is one of the most admired scholarships and the most used by Georgia resident students. Hope currently pays full tuition for students attending college at any campus at any tuition rate, as long as certain criterion is met and you maintain a specific GPA to qualify. If you are dependent on the Hope Scholarship to pay towards your tuition, like I myself am, then you will be affected once this new bill is passed. Newspapers have written articles and news broadcasts have televised series addressing the new Hope Reform Bill that is said to pass and is said to begin in the upcoming fall semester. Who will be affected by the Hope Reform? How will they, or should I say we as students, be affected? The reform states that Hope contributions will now become less. Tuition will not be fully covered. Only a percentage of tuition will be covered each semester for every student. Funds will now depend and be based upon the lottery revenue to determine how much money will go towards the scholarship for each semester, which means that one semester the lottery revenue may be up, which means that more funds will go into the scholarship for every student. So one semester you could qualify for, say, 90% of your tuition to be covered. The next semester, lottery revenues may decrease, which means that you will then only qualify for, say, 75%. So it will fluctuate and be very independent and something that students just won't be able to rely on fully as we do currently. And also the allotted amount of book money dispersed will become even less. Depending on your amount of hours will determine the amount of book money that you will receive every semester. The most book money given to full-time students is estimated to be $150, when in reality, we know as students, $150 will barely cover the cost of 2 books in our campus bookstore. But luckily, our school does offer the renting process for our books, and a lot of schools, they don't have that privilege. So in that instance, we're lucky at our school, but some students aren't aware of this option to get their books, and they depend on having money to pay for their books in the full amount cost. To acquire partial payment of your tuition, you will now have to maintain an even higher grade point average. High school students straight out of high school will now be required to have a 3.9 GPA to have hope for their first year of college, which is pretty much asking for perfection for 4.0. If they don't have a 3.9 GPA, they should at least have a 3.7 GPA and have above a 1200 for their SAT scores. And that's a very high incentive for high school students to be able to achieve. And already enrolled college students will now be required to maintain a 3.3 GPA versus the 3.0 GPA that has previously been required. Maintaining a higher GPA, it doesn't sound like much of a difference, but it's hard, especially, it's hard for all of us students, especially for those of us who work and are attending school full time. Because now, if you're working more, then you have less time to focus on your classes and your schoolwork. And the less you focus on your school, the lower your GPA gets, the lower your grades drop, and then you don't even qualify for your partial coverage for from the Hope Scholarship. It just seems like doing your best, it feels like now it's just not good enough. And students and their parents will suffer from the changes that are made to the Hope Scholarship. Parents that are able to contribute to their children's college funds will now have to figure out a way to make the difference that Hope does not cover. And right now with the economic struggles, extra money is scarce in several families, and extra money just isn't an option. And some students, to meet the difference, are having to work more to have money to pay for the difference. And like I've said previously, that the more you work, the less you focus, the lower your grades get, and you're affected and you could lose your hope. Some students have even decided that they cannot afford school at all without the full scholarship amount. And as a result, they're dropping out of school and working instead of furthering their education as they wish they could. This means that students are now prioritizing any job opposed to furthering their education to achieve their desired career path. Settling for any job discourages dreams of getting the job an individual is actually passionate about. It feels as if the dream has just been lost. The end result will be a lot of unhappy people working at any job just to have a job because they couldn't afford school. Losing the Hope Scholarship for college funding is losing hope for students. The definition of hope is the feeling that what is wanted can be had or the events will turn out for the best. With the new reform, it feels as if our hopes are drained. We are all aware of the economic struggles being faced, but there has to be another approach. Rather than cutting out the most promising academic source that our state provides for us students, we, the student body, should voice our opinions. Don't be afraid of being told no or that your ideas just simply aren't good enough. As long as we're trying to help the situation and coming up with alternative methods, then any idea is a great approach. Schools could also offer contributions to accommodate the loss that students are now having to deal with. Instead of raising tuition every year, maybe figure out a way in the budget that tuition doesn't have to go up so students don't have to come up with more money and less percentage is covered. And also lower the cost of books. Books are already ridiculously priced and we only use them for a semester at a time. And to lower the book cost could help students and help the school also. Even if we lose hope in the scholarship form, don't lose hope in yourselves. Times will change and things may get rough along the way, but always keep your hope.